We are recording now. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Mighty Networks 101 or Contact Mapping Community 101. We had a poll up the other week and I was really happy to hear that there would be a bunch of you who would be interested in doing a little bit of a deeper dive into our community portal, which is built on something called Mighty Networks, as most of you know now, and just how to navigate that, how to get the most out of it. And so I'm going to try to make this really practical. I would love for you to interject with questions as we go along. So feel free to throw stuff in the chat or unmute yourself or wave your arms wildly or whatever your way of getting my attention of choice is. Whatever you choose is good by me. And Elizabeth, keep me on track and help me if I'm missing something in the chat to do that. And please jump in here and contribute as well. So kind of quick overview or intro before we get into the technical specifics is we moved to this platform Mighty Networks from previously having a Facebook group. And so why did we do that? The reason that we did that was twofold. One is I think Facebook has for quite some time been the case, but only continues to be more so a very noisy place that is not necessarily the place that really fills anybody's bucket these days, or it's hard to be very proactive about having it fill your bucket because there's just all kinds of different messages and it's mostly up to their algorithm what you see there. And even if you're choosing to be in the group, groups are just, you know, they're still very algorithmically sorted. And so it's hard for you to be proactive about seeing the stuff that you want to see, getting notified about the stuff you want to get notified about, not getting overwhelmed with stuff. And it's hard to kind of get that balance right. And so what Mighty Networks is all about is they are a platform that is really built for building communities that create transformation. That's kind of their meat and potatoes. And if you haven't already registered for the webinar on Monday of next week with Gina Bianchini, who's the founder of Mighty Networks, I really encourage you because you'll get to see really what I mean firsthand and why we were so excited to partner with these guys. And so that's what's behind this. And so what I want to show you today is everything that you can do inside of Mighty Networks, but also I want to help you kind of get up the learning curve of Mighty Networks, because I think that it does, you know, it's a little different than Facebook. And so when you're first getting used to it, there may be some things that you're not seeing or that you don't know how to go and find it that will make things easier. So I'm going to jump in there. Quick aside, hello Tanya, welcome to the call. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, you actually just got pinged right at 10. I should have thought that through a little bit more because they kind of came on top of each other. But Tanya is our member spotlight for this week. And so there's a beautiful interview with Tanya that just went up. It's so cool because she's actually sitting in the woods. It's really, really cool. So you want to go and watch that. Thank you, Tanya. We love having you in this community. And it's great to have you on here this morning. So this is super exciting.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to try to bounce back and forth a little bit between the app on my phone and the desktop computer version of it, because obviously, you know, different, smaller screen, different form factor. There's a few different ins and outs of that. So I'm going to try to show you a little bit of both, but we're going to start with the computer. So I'm actually going to start very much from the top because we're going to post this on YouTube as well as something that, oh, I think I shared the wrong one. We're going to post this on YouTube as well so that people who aren't even part of network market or of Mighty Networks yet can see what we're doing. So this is an incognito tab. So I'm just going to show you, like, if you're brand new, if you haven't been a part of the network at all yet, what you could do is you could go to community.contactmapping.com. And when you land there, it's going to say, oh, hey, welcome.
Hey.
You can check out what's going on here. You can see what this is about, and you can request to join. There's also something really cool that I want to call your attention to.
Tanya, I'm going to mute you, honey.
I got her.
You got her? Okay.
I got her. You're good. No problem. No problem. So I want to call your attention. This is super awesome. So on that page, if you don't already have the Mighty Networks app, you can go down here to the bottom. You can punch in your phone number and it will text you a link to download the Mighty Networks app. And it's like a smart link. And so it will actually remember that you're trying to specifically join our community network, so that it will take you straight into the contact mapping network on the other side of it. So if you don't have the app already, that is the best way to do it. And that's seriously like a magic trick. I don't know how they do it, but it's really cool. So that's a great way to get there. So you would hit request to join. It's going to go, okay, great. Who are you? I've already done this because there's an approval, but you'd put your name in here, you know, Joe Schmo. You're going to hit next. It's going to say, what's your email at this thing, whatever. And then it's going to say, why do you want to join? So it's 3 questions. It's going to step you through that. And then as soon as you do that, that's going to go to us for an approval. So I already did that because I wanted to make sure we got through the approval part so that you could see. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like on the other side. So you would get an email, it'll go to us, we'll approve it. You'll get an email back saying, okay, great, you're in. Click the button to join and it'll take you into the community. And so now I'm going to show you what that looks like here as well. So now this is a new demo account that I created just for us to be able to show this to you guys so you can see what it looks like when you're not a host or permissions or that kind of stuff. So this is a brand new person in, and so you're going to land into the group and, oh shoot, it took away a little bit of the stuff that it had. Oh, there it is. So you're going to land in the group. There's some new activity that's happened. So it put that up above, but it's going to say, hey, you know, what do you want to get from this community? So you get the chance to answer a question right away. And then normally this, because I've waited a little while, some new activity has appeared, but it's going to show you this little welcome section, and it's going to give you a welcome post that explains a little bit about what Mighty Networks is and how this works. One of the things that's important, and maybe you didn't spend much time here to start off with and you want to go back to it, I'll show you how to do this, is that you have a ton of control over the notifications that you receive from Mighty Networks. And so you might find that you're getting a lot of emails from Mighty Networks depending on whether you went in here and configured it for what you want. So I'm going to show you how to adjust that so that you get the stuff that you really do care about and you're not getting more than you're looking for. So I'll show you a little bit of that. It shows you how you can get yourself downloaded with the app. And then you've got this personalized activity feed. Talks about getting yourself set up with a little intro where you can put your mini bio, you can put your picture in there, and all that stuff is really great. We actually did a training on this earlier this week, that those little bios are really a fantastic way for others in the community to connect with you. So make sure that you do that. And then here's some guidelines. And so we've talked about these quite a bit before. You know, we want to be supportive. We want to share generously. We want to be constructive with each other. And then the one that I think comes up the most often, and I think really people who you have good intentions and just maybe aren't accustomed to a group like this and didn't read through everything, is we want to make sure that we don't, you know, obviously spam or troll people, but we also don't want to promote our business. So that's something that's important in this space to kind of keep it safe. And so we specifically ask that you not share the name of your company or the name of your products, especially if you're in network marketing. You can talk about those things in a general sense, but we ask that you not share specifics. And so there's that little guideline post. And then we talk about what's the big purpose behind this contact mapping community. Why do we believe this is so powerful and so important? So hopefully you read this when you first got in, for those of you watching with us here on Zoom now, but these are great and you can go back and revisit those. And so there's that welcome section there. So just wanted to kind of highlight that as a starting point. And then I want to show you around a little bit. So if you go over here to the top right of your application over here, we've got some noise. I think, all right, I'm gonna mute. So Bev, I'm not sure who you are because it's your email there, but if you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself, but I think you were talking to somebody else in the background. Okay, so anyway, just gonna move this over here. So I wanna show you a couple of things that you can do to navigate around. So when you click over here, it's going to give you a little tip about this. So see that little white dot there? That's kind of calling your attention to some things that it's showing you around. So I'm going to click got it. And now I'm going to click here. And so I've got my profile, I've got settings, drafts, and save posts. So I'm going to go to my profile. And this is where I can add some stuff about myself, right? So I can introduce myself. And if I click on that, it's going to pop up and it's going to say, you know, write your little bio. I can add my photo up here. I can actually add like a banner photo as well. I can say where I'm from. I can put my, links to my Facebook page, my LinkedIn, my website, and then, introduce myself. And so that's just a great way for you to navigate around that. So I wanted to show you that. And then the second thing I want to show you is your settings. So if you go to your settings, this gives you all the different pieces of what you can configure, and notifications specifically is what I want you to see. I haven't set up the app yet, so once you download the app, you can get notifications there. But it says, okay, do I want email updates at all? Do I want that email to happen as the activity is happening, or do I want a daily digest? So for me personally, from an email perspective, I prefer a daily digest, so that's what I have. But then if you want it as activities happen, you can actually specifically configure all the stuff. So what do I care about hearing? Like, do I want cheers on my stuff? That's the little heart button. Do I want an email if somebody cheers my post? Maybe I do, maybe I don't, but you can click these things on and off and configure it the way you want it. And so it's just a great way for you to make sure that you are, I encourage you to have notifications on, but to take some time to configure these things, because the notifications being on is an excellent way for you to be able to see the, sorry, I'm going to make Elizabeth a co-host here really quick as well. It's an excellent way for you to be able to make sure that you see the things that matter, and we will actually notify you about certain more important posts, like when we have the live trainings and whatnot, but we are really careful to try not to spam you and notify you too much. So I would encourage you, have notifications on, but configure them so that you're not getting a bunch of stuff that doesn't really matter. So does that all make sense? And any questions about that? I'm gonna look through here.
Kathleen's trying to,
Sorry,
go ahead, Kathleen.
Down. Okay, perfect. So Kathleen, what I did to get to that space is I clicked on my non-picture, because I don't have a picture, but it would be your photo up here.
I found it, Adrian.
Okay, good. All right, well, anyways, for anyone else.
When you introduce, if you could just say where you are, because it takes me a while to find where you are, and then I'm not hearing any of it.
Yes, I will be better about that, and feel free, unmute yourself too. So if you get lost, unmute yourself and say that, because I would be happy to slow down. So thank you for saying that. Danny, you are on the site, but you can't see where to find the app request to get texted the app. So if you're on community.contactmapping.com, it's at the very bottom of the page. Or if you've already logged in, then if you go up here to your photo and then you go to your settings, there's actually another way to get here right here. So at the bottom of this screen right here, there's another way where you can ask it to text you the app. So you can do it once you're logged in. Great question.
Good.
So you've got those settings configured. So there is another concept that I want you to kind of have at a high level, which is that there is a free area of the contact mapping community that is available to anyone, whether or not you have the app, whether or not you're a free user or a premium user. It's something that is available to everyone, and we drip a certain amount of content from what's happening in the premium community out into that free side of things, so that there's some opportunity for those folks to see what things are about. But the majority of the value that we are bringing inside of the community, this is one of the benefits of being a contact mapping premium member. And so there's a free version of contact mapping, no credit card required. You get to use the app, you get some limited support, and you get access to the free side of the community. And then if you upgrade to that premium, then you have some enhanced features of the app, like a Facebook Messenger integration, like a Chrome browser extension, like a in-app statistics section that helps you to measure your progress, but you also get access to this amazing community. So I want to show you both of those things, but you just kind of have to have that in mind, that there's different levels of this. And I think this is one of the things that's maybe a tiny bit confusing about Mighty Networks that that I need to explain, and I've actually given them some feedback because I'd like them to improve on it a little bit. So,
Adrian, I have
yes.
a quick question.
Yeah.
I have the app. I have the Mighty Networks on my phone.
Okay.
I don't have it. I've never accessed it on my PC. Is that important?
It is not important. You can absolutely use it only in one of those two places. There's no difference. It's just a matter of what's your preferred way to access the content.
Well, I prefer being able to read without my glasses.
Yeah, totally. So I highly recommend you can use it both places. And so this might be a much better place for you to hang out is to do it on the computer instead.
Okay, so I just follow the steps that you just went through to put it on my PC. It's not a double thing. I won't get.
Correct. Yep. It's just same access points in both places. So when you go there, you'll click sign in, Louise. You'll put in your email, and it will either have you put in a password, or it can send you a magic link to your email, and you just click that link, and then you're in.
Thank you.
So it's really seamless. Yeah.
Great.
Good question. So
Adrian?
so when you first, yes, Elizabeth.
One other question that came up at some point during the session, Tanya would like to know if you can answer how to take Zoom links from a personal chat inside of here and add it to a calendar event. And if you would touch on that briefly.
Okay. So if someone, Tanya, can you explain what you mean about that?
Yeah, so last week I connected with one of our lovely members, and she sent me a Zoom link, and I tried to, you know how you hold down on it and copy it so that you can just copy the link, but it just kept wanting to take me to Zoom, and I tried all over on the message so that I could just take the whole message, and I couldn't actually copy anything from the personal message. And so I'm like, well, that's really frustrating because I have so much on the go that if I don't put it in a calendar,
Yeah.
then I'm in trouble. So I'm like, okay, well, this is all about connecting. So there's got to be something to be able to connect that to a calendar event.
Yeah. Okay. So let's we're gonna do a little test. We'll find out. So I don't know the answer to that, but we'll see if I can figure it out here on the fly. So new members, Adrian demo. Say hello. Here is the link. Okay. We'll have to check because it sounds like the problem is on the phone, not on the computer. So when we get to the phone part, remind me and we'll circle back and we'll play with that. Okay, so I want to call your attention to this section over here on the left-hand side. Are you guys seeing my mouse cursor as I'm moving it around? Okay, good. So I want to show you these pieces. And so this idea about that there's the premium area and there's the free area. When you first come in, you're only in the free area. And I'm trying to figure out, I want it to be where I can like double invite you to both. And for some reason, it doesn't seem like that is working as seamlessly as I'd like. So we're going to continue to work on improving that. But let's just assume that you're not in the groups to start off with. So I want to show you the groups first. So there are these groups within our network. And a couple of you have requested access to this One Business Connection. I'm going to make it a little bit more clear. One Business Connection is a contact mapping partner. And so that is something that you are absolutely invited to be a part of, but it is an additional separate charge from contact mapping. So I've kind of messaged a few of you, but just so you're aware, that's the case. And then contact mapping premium is the main thing that I want us to talk about. So contact mapping premium is something that is part of your premium subscription. So you get those enhanced features of the app, and then you also get access here, but you'll need to request that access in most cases, unless we invite you proactively to get in there. And so you can, if you click on this, you'll see more details. This is where contact mapping premium members come together to grow. If you're already a premium member, simply request to join the group. To learn more, you can go here. And so I'm gonna, as this demo account, I'm gonna request access to join premium. So now that's gonna
Adrian?
Yes.
This is Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Can I access that group? Can I access that group on the phone app?
Yes, I'll show you, and I'll show you how to navigate through all that stuff. It's very, like, once you kind of see the structure of this, it's very similar, but I'll make sure you can see how to do that. So I'm going to go over here on my phone, on my host account, and I'm going to approve that request. So right now that request is pending as I wait. And so now I'm going to approve myself to get in there. So I just got the notification, welcome, you are now a member of Contact Mapping Premium. So I can click on here, and now I'm into this Contact Mapping Premium group. Why does it
Kathleen, did you have a question, honey?
Yeah, it's just I'm trying to get clear who's got access to what. So for instance, a few people that I've invited, they've I think they're on the free version and others are on the premium. So what's the One Business connection? Can they get into this group initially, even without being premium?
So they can get into this Contact Mapping community without being premium, where they'll see
the Mighty Networks.
Right, the overarching network. And so so now we're into this private group. So so they would have access, for example, this thing that we're doing right now is available to everyone. It's not just for premium members, it's part of that group. But then in order to access the Zoom, the weekly launch Zoom call and the Feedback Friday Zoom call and the long member spotlight interviews, those are special features that are only there for the premium members. So they just won't have visibility to that. And when they go to the groups, they would see this request access. And if they're not already a premium member and they request access, then what we would say is that, hey, this is how you could become a premium member, or you can feel free to have access to the to just the free area and use the free version of the app. So they have that. So there's value even for the free members, but the lion's share of the value comes when you become a premium member, because that community is such a big part of the value that we offer. Does that make sense, Kathleen?
Yes, thanks for clarifying. Thank you.
Yep. And then so just to reiterate this, I'm going to make this a little bit more clear, but One Business Connection is a Contact Mapping partner. It's a separate company from us. And we have all of their members get invited to be a part of Contact Mapping, but Contact Mapping members could choose to have a subscription and be a part of that networking group if they want, but that's a separate subscription. So I'll make that a little bit more clear in this little description here, but that's what that's about. So anyways, nothing to worry about there for now, but that's what that is. Right. So you have your groups and you have your home. So one of the things to note is, now that you are part of the paid premium community, now that I'm in that community, this overall feed on the homepage of Mighty Networks when I first land there, or the same thing when I first open the app, it gives me a blended view of everything that I'm a part of. So Tanya's Member Spotlight just launched, and you can see right here that's private because that's only in the premium side of things, but I'm seeing this private post, and then I'm seeing this public post that was talking about that we're in this session right now. And so you're gonna have a blend of stuff where you're gonna see basically everything you have access to in that home feed, similar to the Facebook news feed, where you have a blend of people's status updates and stuff that's in groups that you're a part of. You have kind of one feed that's showing you everything. And so that's helpful because it gives you an easy way to see kind of everything that's relevant to you all in one place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, however, there is some cool stuff that where you have some ability to filter and find content that you might be looking for. So there's a discovery section. What the discovery section is about is it actually will show you members who are physically located near you, which is really cool. So there's actually like this is really helping us to have an ability to potentially connect in real life with people. And so there's a great way to be able to see what that looks like. You have topics, you have top members who are some of the most active members in the community. You have featured posts. So this is kind of, discovery is a nice way to be able to filter for some things that might be of more interest to you. You have a members area. Oops. And the members area, again, is great because especially for the people who have updated their little miniature bios, you can scroll through and it's really fun to read folks who have updated their bios and learn a little bit about them. And maybe you go, oh man, you know, Wendy sounds so interesting. I want to reach out to her or whatever it is. And so, you know, you can kind of scroll through this and look for people that might be interesting for you to connect with. And then you have an about section. So there's an about that that kind of re-explains what this is all about. And so you can see that there. So the thing that I really want to show you is this topics area. And I actually made a change to this today because this is, I think, one of the things that has created some confusion. So the overarching community has a set of topics, and then each group or course can separately have its own set of topics. And when I first set this up, I had some of the same topics in the free part as in the premium part. And I think that was creating confusion for folks because they would click on, they'd be here, they would say member spotlight, and they wouldn't see the full interview with Tanya because they're not actually in the premium version area right now. They're only in the free area. So that was creating confusion. So I'm going to show you in a second. These are the topics that we currently have for the free side of things. So there's an app training section where you've got different videos and different posts about what's going on in the group, in the app. You've got daily action. So this is where folks are sharing about their progress against their daily goals. You've got premium previews. So this is where I've kind of moved, like when we tease stuff out of the premium group into the free, this is where it's now all going to go into premium previews. So you can see we do, like, I pull out a little quote from each member spotlight and put that in there, but then the full interview will be over on the other side. And then inspiration. So inspiration, I think, is a section, a lot of folks have been posting some really cool quotes and stuff like this. So this is something that not only we as contact mapping people can use, but other members can use, and you can classify your stuff there. And what's cool is you can follow topics. So you can actually, I think that gives you some configurability as far as getting notifications about certain topics that you care about more or less. So you got the topics there. You've got an events section. So since this already started, it's under past, but you've got past events that have happened. If there's any upcoming events scheduled, you'll see those. You got the groups, and then you've also got courses. And so this is something that is this is part of the next phase of what we're really going to start focusing on, is that the premium weekly rhythm that we're creating is something that is about giving you, a really great place to build rhythm, to build habits. And so there's a training component of that. There's a goal setting component of that. There's a look back component of that. There's a Q&A. So you're getting kind of a holistic weekly rhythm, but we can only go so deep on that weekly rhythm because it's really about the habit formation. That's really what the premium community, habit formation and connection, are the two things that the premium community is really about. But there's so much more that we'd like to do, and there's so much more that you guys have been asking us for in terms of really going deep on certain subjects. And so we're going to start rolling out some additional paid training options for you to participate in that are really going to be focused on how do we kind of give you a jolt of activity, a jolt of additional training, and to really help you to get to sort of catapult your results at a greater level. So there's going to be more coming there, but you'll be able to see those there, and they'll kind of, we'll open them up for a certain period of time, and then they'll only be available for sale for a certain period, and then it's going to be a live course. So you'll see more on that to come, but I just wanted to highlight that as well. But now I want to take you guys into this contact mapping premium group so you can see what that looks like. And it's funny, I'm in the group, like I'm approved, but it's still forcing me. There we go, view group. All right, so now we're into the premium group. And so the main thing I want to show you is that the topics in the events section are different. So the topics section, now you have a different set of topics that are only available in the premium group. So the weekly launch is going to give you all of the sessions that we have there. And so this is an event that is for this upcoming Monday, or sorry, that's from last Monday. And then you've got the replay from those sessions. So this is where you would go, oh, you know, I didn't get a chance to jump on one of these live on Monday. I can go back and I can click into this and I can actually watch this video right here in the app. So you can see those. You've got the member spotlights, so you can go through, and this is where the full posts of each of our member spotlights are located. So we have Tanya this week, it was Ginny last week, and Hella the week before. So you can go into those and read through those. And then you've got the Feedback Friday, which is very similar to the weekly launch, where you've got we post about the videos and then we post the replays afterwards. And then lastly, there's bonus content. So over and above the stuff that we always do, we're gonna be constantly delivering you some really amazing content where we're bringing in world-class people that you get exclusive access to hear from them. So we've had Mark Victor Hansen, we've had Jerry Colonna, and there's more to come in that space. So just, that's kind of the one slightly weird thing, is that the topics in the free side and the premium side, you can't see all those topics in one place. You have to kind of toggle back and forth. And then you've got the events, right? And so this is where, like, so for all, and then later today, I'll be posting the 2 events for the Friday Feedback Friday sessions. And so you can always see what's coming up as far as the live Zooms that you can participate in. So that's kind of the overview I wanted to do. Oh, and then I guess last thing. So you've got your, up here in the top right, where you've got your bell, you've got your notifications. So you can see all of your notifications. And if you want to see how there's still a 1 there, since I haven't clicked on this, it hasn't gone away, but you can click on this little check mark to mark all as read. And then you have your chat. So you have individual chats. There's also an all group chat that you can see. So there's a little bit of chatter, which is kind of fun, that happens here in the all member chat. And then the last thing I want to show you is this little plus sign here. You know, we invite you to be a part of this, to contribute. And so you'll see there's quite a few members who are sharing, you know, thoughts, ideas, you know, things that they find valuable. So you can create a quick post. You can create a question or a poll for the group. You can create even an event for the group. Obviously not a promotional event, but, you know, if you wanted to say, hey, let's have a group hangout. Let's just do, you know, I'd love to have a little coffee hour or something and invite anybody who wants to join. We would love to see that kind of thing happen. And if you need help with that, as far as arranging something like that, but you would benefit from using one of our Zoom links to do that, we'd be happy to support you there. And then you also have this invite, right? And we would love for you to invite people to be a part of this community. That's something that we would really be grateful for. And so you can put email addresses in there and it'll send out invites to people. On the app, you can also get a link, or you can create a link here. So you could copy a link here and do that. And we actually, your links that you generate are unique to you. And so we'll actually see, like, oh, that's awesome, Louise, you know, invited so-and-so to be part of this group. And, you know, we can recognize and thank you for that. So that's another really cool thing. So, and sorry, this is going a little bit long, but I think we're doing some cool stuff here. So, if you need to jump off early, totally understand, but otherwise we'll keep on trucking. But that's the overview of what I wanted to show you on the computer. And so any questions on that before I show you kind of what it looks like on the phone really quick?
Yeah, when you invite people, Adrian, you're inviting them to the Mighty group, not the app.
Correct. If you invite from here, you're inviting them to be part of the Mighty Networks group, not the app. That's correct. Right. So, but do they have to have the app to be part of the group? No, they don't have to. They'll benefit from having both, but it's definitely not a requirement. Okay, thanks. Yeah, great question. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the phone here, and I'm going to show you what this looks like here. Oops.
And one suggestion, something that I decided to do since I use the app and the computer, I actually do most of my interaction through the computer, but I also have the app as well. So I have my email notifications turned completely off, and I have my notifications turned on for my phone. So that's another combination of being able to be notified, but not getting too much stuff as well. So that's worked out really well for me.
Elizabeth, are you able to hear me right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I don't know why, but for some reason when I do the screen share, it takes a long time for it to generate itself. Okay. Are you guys seeing my screen okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let's say you're on the phone, you're just getting Mighty Networks set up for the first time. So you can go, what I would recommend you do is actually go to community.contactmapping.com on your phone. And if you already have the account, it'll say put in your email. And so I have put in my email here, and you can see down at the bottom, I don't know if you see my cursor or not, but it says check your inbox. We've sent you a magic link to sign into the community. So I'm going to go over to my email here, and here's my magic link that I have received. And so I'm going to click sign in, and it's going to take me to my browser to get in there. So now I'm in, and now it's going to say, do you want to download the app? And so I've got the app here. And when I click on that, you can see it had a magic link or whatever where it recognized I didn't have to go find the contact mapping network. It just takes me straight into it. So now you're in there on your phone, and it's a pretty seamless process. And so everything is really pretty much identical on the phone, but I just want to kind of call your attention to how it works. So if you go, do you guys see my cursor when I move it, my mouse, or no?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So up here, this little section up here, if I click on that, that's going to take you to all those same sections like you had before. So this is kind of the one thing to just make sure you're using that is you've got all the content mixed together in the feed here. But if I want to really get down and focus on what's happening in the premium community, I can go down here. I would go to groups, and then I would go into that premium community here. And now I'm just inside that premium community. And if I tap on this little thing again, then I'm going to be able to go to the topics specific to the community and then say, yep, I want to go see the bonus content. So I can see that interview that happened with Jerry Colonna or whatever that is. So everything is happening in the app, pretty much the same as on desktop. It's just a little bit different, obviously, as far as how you move around it. But the structure is actually, it's very consistent. So once you get used to it in one way, you're going to get pretty used to it in another way. You see down here, again, it's kind of trying to show me what to do. So it's got this little button here when I first get in. So I tap on that, and it says, it's going to pop up. This is if I want to share a post. And so up here at the very top, I've got this quick post. And so I can click the drop down. I can instead say I want to create an event or ask a question if I wanted to. It's showing me here, I would be posting in the premium community, which I could change if I wanted to, I think. And
sorry, I don't know where we are now.
so if you, oops, I'm clicking on the screen to try to do it. So this down here, this little plus sign at the very bottom, Kathleen, you see that?
Yes, hold on, I just got to get to the right page now. Yes, yep.
So that's where you're going to create a post. And what is happening, which I'm learning some of this as we go too, is it's going to code me that because I'm in the bonus content of the post of the premium community, that's where it's having me post it. And it's actually not allowing me to change that while I'm there. So if that's not where I wanted to post it, if I noticed that that was the case, then what I would do is I would get out of there. So I would click on this little down arrow here, and I could go back. I could click on this little contact mapping button here, and I could click on it again. And so if I just keep tapping on this little C, that's going to keep taking me back to home. So now I'm back home. And so now if I click on this plus again, if I post something, now it's going to allow me, you can see there's a little arrow here. It will let me change. Do I want to post in the community, or do I want to post in the premium group instead? So I can change where I want the post to go. And then I can also add a topic accordingly. So I can select what I want it to be, and then I can post something, and I could put a photo here if I wanted to. I could also put a hyperlink, for example, or a file or whatever that is. So you have some good options for what you want to post there. And if you just kind of tap around in there, you'll be able to find all those things. But that plus sign here is where you're going to go to post something. You've got your little notifications here, which I've cleared my notifications. And then here, this is about me. So this is where I would edit or make changes to my own profiles. In personal settings, I can adjust my notifications here, so I can change what I want as far as not only my email updates, but I can decide if I want to receive push notifications on my phone, which I do recommend. And then you can again configure what notifications you want. So I turn that on. It's going to say, okay, enable push notifications. I say allow. And so now I can decide what notifications I would like to receive. So you'll be able to configure that there. You can also invite from the phone. So again, you've got your ability here. And if you click on that, it's going to pop up and it's going to ask you, do you want to copy a link? Do you want to send a text message? Whatever it is. And it's kind of cool if I'll hit the send a message. And so if I send a message, it pops it up and it actually gives you like a little text of what you can say, and then you can put someone's name in there. So it's a nice way to kind of make it easy for you to share pretty quickly and easily. And so then let's take a look at your question that you had, Tanya. So I went over here to my messages down here at the bottom. And so here's that message from me. And so if I hold my thumb, I'm on an iPhone, but I just held my phone or my thumb on that link and it popped up that copy. And so let's see if it copied the link or if it copied the whole thing. It looks like it copied the whole message, Tanya, but still you could use that to then grab it. So that should make it a little easier for you. So I think that's everything that I wanted to cover as far as kind of stuff that I wanted you specifically to see. But are there any questions from anybody in the group as far as other stuff that we didn't cover or anything that wasn't clear that you want me to go back and review?
Everybody good?
Good. All right.
Wow.
Let's just look at the chat just to make sure.
Tanya gave a thumbs up. Adrian, you did a wonderful job.
I think it will take using it to then find out what we know and what we don't know.
Yeah. And so feel free, you can comment on the post, this actual post in the network, or you can post a question with that app training, tag in there, and we can respond that way. So absolutely, as more questions arise, you can feel free to post more questions, shoot me a message, shoot Elizabeth a message. We love to help, and that would be awesome. So thank you guys so much for being here. It's great to be able to do live Q&A and make sure that it's clear and that it's making sense to everybody. And so we'll get the replay posted on this in Mighty Networks. You can look for it under the topic of app training. So you'll find it there. And thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a great day, y'all.
Thanks. Bye.